You guys ready to fix the All-Star game?
King of the court for $3 billion. That's the only way they'll care.
Every goddamn show.
No, but jokes aside, I think King of the Court is a splendid idea.
Nah, but I don't want the jokes.
Like Squid Game.
I don't want the jokes to be aside.
If you lose, you die.
I don't want the jokes to be aside. I just want the jokes. Yeah, we're gonna fix the All-Star game. All right, we're gonna do King of the Court. We're gonna bring back shooting stars, and we're gonna have a ladder match to determine who wins $1 million. Welcome, the floor is yours. We are back post All-Star break edition. Thankfully, there are games tomorrow. I don't know about y'all, but I've been rewatching Yu-Gi-Oh. That's what the All-Star break has done to me. I've been rewatching the first season of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Can I bet on that?
Yugi's in some shit, man. I forgot about how
degenerates are us.
I forgot how intense this was off the bat. His grandpa getting freaking, taken and shit, like
kidnapped.
Speaking about childhood anime, Avatar drops tomorrow on Netflix.
Really?
Yeah, the last Airbender.
I fell asleep during the Avatar movie, not the Airbender joint, but the blue motherfuckers. I forgot their name.
Them niggas, yeah.
Yeah. I felt
the Navi tribe.
Navi, yes.
There you go. I fell asleep during that shit.
I used to use that movie when I was teaching freshman world history to teach imperialism. So I've probably seen that movie somewhere around, I don't know, 70 times.
That's a good movie to use, though. It's a good movie to use.
Yeah, it is.
All right, cool.
White folks roll in and take over everything. Now let's fix the All-Star game.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about basketball. All right. None of us went to Indiana. For me, that was by choice.
Thank God.
For everyone else here, I believe that was also by choice because no, thank you.
Didn't it snow?
Yes, I mean it snowed here too, but whatever. Jimmy Buckets understands. We're gonna get into Jimmy Buckets. Actually,
I'm tired.
When we talk about
Jimmy, I'm tired.
When we talk about actual basketball, which we're about to do in a sec, I promise.
It's gonna be terrible content.
I do have a Jimmy Butler thing I want to get into, so there will be some Heat-centric stuff for those of you turning in from down south. But for those of you from the Midwest, Indiana, bro, there were some rules that came out that they're like, now if you want to host the All-Star game, here's what you need, and they're basically like, yeah, Indiana, that shit's not happening again. Anyway.
And it's like Milwaukee probably won't get that bid anymore. I don't see New Orleans. I mean, I think New Orleans should do it, but yeah, those rules are pretty rough.
Someone's saying our Twitter live video is broken, and Sean actually just throws the comment on the screen. All right, let's go. Okay, so we're gonna play Floor's Mind right off the bat. The most interesting thing for each of us coming out of the All-Star break, that will. We'll see what happens with that moving forward. We have a lot to potentially get into. We have your comments that we're going to hit also, but we're going to go around the room. One thing that we're going to keep watch for going the rest of the way this season. Let's begin with Tony. I feel like you got something interesting. What's the main thing you're going to look out for the rest of the season?
Dallas's defensive rating. I want to see how good they are in the West because they feel very switchable. If they can hide Doncic and if he can just be a big body, if he's the low man, usually that turns out pretty bad. So if they can get him just kind of deterring screens and getting their defensive rating up, they're weird. I like them to make some fucking noise out in the West.
Me too. Listen, I made the case last week to bet Luka for MVP at plus 1100 now because if Dallas goes on a run, it's going to become Shea versus Luka unless obviously Jokic does something. But and this is the key right here. Jimmy Bucket says it in the comments. Daniel Gafford, to me was the most underrated addition of the trade deadline. I love Daniel Gafford. He's great, and he also shores up that front court so that Derek Lively as a rookie doesn't have to sort of carry the load there. You can platoon both of them. They'll both play 20-something minutes. And you're going to get good, solid minutes from them at center. And oh, by the way, PJ Washington. So I think Dallas is a great one. I think they can make a serious run and be like a legit tough out in a playoff.
I want to throw this out there, and 13 game sample size lineup data is like some shit that Heat fans will do early in the season. But there's only 1, 2, 3, 4 minus lineups using cleaning the glass right now with those guys, with Daniel Gafford on the floor. So Dallas has really picked up their defense. Lively is just a live wire off the bench. So he can really just be whatever he needs to be for that team. And Tim Hardaway continues to be really good. So Kyrie's getting back healthy and figuring out what's going on, but he's been really great for them. So PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford, that's a pairing I really, 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 really like.
Sean, what do you got?
I would say monitoring the injuries that currently exist that are obviously throwing, a wrench into a lot of teams' plans right now. You've got Jimmy, who appears to be coming back from his not injury, but dealing with personal issue. Terry Rozier with the Heat, obviously, also Josh Richardson. But then, the big names, Randall, OG Anunoby, LeBron, I believe, is out tomorrow per my fantasy team. There's other guys that have been dealing. I think so.
Yeah, ankle.
Yeah, his ankle. Yeah, he's out tomorrow.
Yeah. Because he played in the All-Star game because he cares about the All-Star game and the TV contracts and all the. All right, we don't want.
And he had to set the record 20 straight All-Stars. No, he just had to.
That's crazy, man.
Who do the Lakers play tomorrow?
There's
the Dubs.
The Warriors.
Oh shit, that's a good game. Go ahead, Sean.
Maybe LeBron isn't out tomorrow.
No,
he's rebounding perhaps.
No, he is. Shams said he's out. Yeah.
We'll push those.
But injuries, yes. Injuries is going to be a big
injuries in general. Just, there's going to be additional injuries, right? We know that's going to happen, unfortunately, but just around the league, is Kristaps Porzingis going to hold up? Is Julius Randle and the Knicks going to get healthy and be able to maintain their deal? Jimmy Butler and the Heat, we know we always have injuries. Joel Embiid, is he going to come back? When is he going to come back? Out west with the Lakers and the Warriors, are they going to make a push? They're older teams. Are they going to be able to survive injuries? You have a lot of different guys that are going to – it's a tight race in both conferences. More so at the top in the East, but the West all the way down to 10th is going to be very interesting.
Will Zion get hurt? Will Zion eat a beignet and get hurt again?
Probably.
To your point, going off the Knicks in particular – Hardenstein and DiVincenzo are coming back. However, Julius Randle, there's not much of an update there, and there's kind of supposed to be. I heard surgery potentially in the offseason, though, being a thing that was floated out there on the rumor mill. I don't know, but OG Anunoby, those guys aren't back yet. That's going to be big in terms of how it shapes the Eastern Conference standings because Joel Embiid is also out, and I think Philly is probably going to slide a little bit more than people think. And I think the Knicks, they've slid already to 4. They're in danger of sliding some more if those injuries sort of prolong deeper into, damn near spring at this point because we're already almost in March. Timmy, what you got?
So all season, I said that I hope that OKC turns the Bertans contract into something that they're pretty good. They were first seed, second seed. I hope they got something because it's 2 seasons. The regular season is one thing, and you get to the postseason, and it's just a complete different game. The biggest issue I've seen for OKC this entire season, even though I think SGA is going to win MVP, I think Chet would have been rookie of the year in any other year, but we are dealing with an alien. In the fourth quarter, they basically give both Dort and Giddey the Rondo treatment. They just completely ignore those dudes. And shout out to Dagnall. Is that the coach's name? Mark Dagnall.
Mark Dagnall, yeah.
They were doubling him the whole game, and he was able to use that double against them to win the game. But you can't do that every game in the playoffs. So I love the Gordon Hayward trade just because they weren't playing man. They weren't playing Vasily. I can't remember his name. Sorry,
Vasily Micic.
Micic, and Bertans. So you turn into Gordon Hayward, who at his worst is averaging 14, 5, and 5. He doesn't miss when he has an open shot. So when you get in the fourth quarter and you try to double off Shai Gilgeous, you either bench Giddy, you bench start. You have Hayward there, and he's basically the vet now. He's been there. He's been to battles. That's a fact for those guys. And despite Chet being ridiculous, they are very bad at rebounding. Bismarck really held the fort down for the Grizzlies in those couple of games. I think it was like a solid 8-6. That's just a different type of center for them to back up. Why are you making your face like that, Brian?
I don't know what that comment was that Sean.
You know what that comment was.
No, I don't. No, I legitimately don't. Can we put it back up? I actually want to. Let's swanton bomb into this one. Get myself in trouble. Van Lee says we just got the quote set unrealistic expectations in front of gorgeous reporter close quote yesterday.
Right, every single All-Star break, she interviews somebody.
Who is she?
The great Taylor Rooks, Brian.
And this was Malika Andrews, but dudes just
this
be
is
lying
why
to
I
her
asked.
too.
This is why I asked the question.
Sorry,
y'all be feeding over all of them.
Facts. Yeah. So Taylor was like, "Yeah, I'm the best player in the league." I'm like, "Whoa, guy, relax." But yeah. But I love what OKC did. It wasn't like a big fireworks, earth-shattering move, but if Hayward can play 20 minutes, if Bismarck can play 15 minutes, I think they help OKC's weaknesses, and I can see them in the conference finals for the for the thing.
Get Wembanyama in front of Taylor Rooks, and he would say he would put Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's ass in the grave early if he got a chance.
The way he was playing at the All-Star weekend, he might say that to Brian Windhorst, bro.
Might
Which is
this is the earliest into the podcast that I've ever thought this is not going on the pod stream. 12 minutes is a new record for us.
It didn't happen in the first couple of minutes. I called the Avatar people the blue motherfuckers. Honestly, I'm starting
February too.
I've talked about my concerns for Victor Wembanyama in terms of health, and I know this wasn't Timmy's point, but I talked about my concerns for Victor Wembanyama in terms of health. Those remain, but I do like him more than I thought I would because that dude just hates losing, and I love people who hate losing because I hate losing. Cannot stand losing. Van Lee, Wemby isn't good with the ladies. Slap Britney Spears in the 2015.
That was such a funny story, actually.
I forgot about that whole Britney Spears Victor Wembanyama thing. I don't know where to go from there. Timmy,
yeah, OKC is my pick for the team to watch just because they're still the second seed. They're the second best record in the league, and they made those small moves. Hayward says he is playing tomorrow, so that tomorrow's our first look at seeing what that team looks like. But on the other side of the Hayward trade, I like what the Hornets did. Seth and Grant and Mimich and Trayman, like some energy. I mean, they're still gonna suck.
LaMelo Ball's out again. Mark Williams might get shut down. Mark Williams might get shut down.
Brian, he hasn't played for like 3 months. I don't think he's gonna play anymore.
He's on my fantasy team in our league. Actually, I just dropped him because they announced last week. It's going to be at least 4 more weeks. And it's like, all right, bro, like it's tankathon time. Like, why are you going to bring him back at all? They said he was day-to-day with a back contusion, like a back, whatever, lower back bruise. And he's been day-to-day for 3 months.
The Markieff Morris.
Or the Jeremy Lin, because when I covered the Nets, they said, torn day-to-day with the hamstring. And then you find out the hamstring was torn and re-aggravated. So he's going to be out for a long time. We'll get to DeLon Wright.
Can we talk about the Nets since you went there?
We'll get to the Nets in a second. I want to get to my thing first, and it's actually Heat centric. This is more of a question, but is Jimmy Butler going to be the boogeyman this year? Because I looked at his numbers after the All-Star break last year, and I forgot that this happened. He averaged after the All-Star break last season, and remember last year they sucked during the regular season by the standard that they're held to. 25.6 points, about 6 assists, almost 6 rebounds, and basically 2 stocks per game, right? So 26, 6, and 6 with 2 if you're rounding, and he was shooting 62% from the field, 48% from three, and typical 85% on free throws and 20 appearances. He also only missed one game before the last two games. So he was also very durable and not missing time. I think Jimmy Butler, if he's able to do something like that, then he could be the boogeyman again this late in the year, which is going to be very interesting because I actually think, and I'm not saying this because the show is here, but I actually think, and I haven't loved watching this Heat team at all this season. They've actually probably been one of my least favorite teams to watch throughout the duration of the year. But I think they're about to start playing better because, one, third softest schedule in terms of strength of schedule, according to certain metrics. Orlando actually has the easiest schedule the rest of the season, supposedly. We'll see how that goes. That's important for, that little race there because the Heat have a tiebreaker. And also, again, Sixers are going to slide. Knicks, we'll see. I think they might slide a little bit more. And I think that opens up the door for Miami, Orlando, Indiana to get out of the play-in. And I think that's going to be very interesting because I think the Heat, now that they received some good news on the injury front and they got DeLon Wright, I don't know if DeLon Wright's going to be the difference in like multiple games, but he'll help them. I think they can make a little bit of a run and still get to where I thought they were going to be before the season started, which is in that 45-47 win sort of territory. They need to actually win some games though, and they have some pretty light ones coming up. I think they play Detroit 3 times in the next couple of weeks or something along those lines. So
yeah, a couple of Wizards matchups in there too. So two things. One, Orlando's soft schedule sounds like an advantage for them. But we're going into election season. They've got bigger things to worry about. Okay. 2.
I love a good election season joke, so I'm going to allow it.
Baba Yaga is absolutely loading. Over the last 10, Jimmy's averaging 24.
Yeah.
7.9. I'm going to go ahead and give him 8 on that.
Mm-hmm.
And 5 assists.
Since January 27th. I have the same thing in front of me. About 24, 8, and 6 on 56, 52, 82 in 7 games before he had to step away because of, death in the family.
Yeah. They're spacing it better for him. Bam's getting easier looks right now. I think they continue to play with the lineups a little bit to make that even more effective. And there's guys who just haven't been hitting shots. Highsmith and Jaime, who are super reliable for the first, 4, 5, 6 weeks of the season, haven't been those guys. So it can only get better, assuming he doesn't get injured. That's always the tell.
Rozier was starting to play well, too, before he got hurt. He was actually injured in one of his better games. Sean?
Let me throw a couple of these up here because they're Heat related while we're on the Heat topic. And then we can we'll go to your comments later too. I'll star them if I think they are interesting and we'll finish the show with them. But I have a couple of Heat related ones while we're on the topic. So first one, big Heat energy. Chances Jovic starts coming out of the All-Star break. So Friday night, we play New Orleans. In New Orleans, do you think we can keep it short, but go around the table. Do you think that Jovic starts coming out of the All-Star break? He started the last 2 games? I think
he only started because Jimmy was out. I think if Jimmy is back, it's going to be Highsmith.
Oh, I think it's gonna be Caleb and Jimmy, but yeah, I'm with it.
I think I would do it. Now, I don't know if Spo's going to actually do it. I think Brady was saying, just do it at this point on a recent 5 on the floor. And I kind of agree. I think, you give it a look. You see if it has to be like a Kelly Olynyk, Myers Leonard thing where he's not really doing a ton and you just play him, a couple of shifts and it's 15 minutes, whatever. But I do think because of what he can give you in terms of multi-dimensional offense, I'd give that a look because I think Caleb is fine in either role. I think Highsmith is fine in either role. And actually, I don't think Highsmith has been that great this year.
No,
I thought by now we'd be like, oh, Highsmith is the 4. We wouldn't even have to think about it. He has not taken a stranglehold on that position, which is important because this is a contract year for him as well as Caleb Martin, but Highsmith as well. And he's sort of seen as the more affordable one. He will be because he's not as good. And they'll be able to extend them, blah, 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 blah. Will you even want to extend them after this season if Nikola Jovic takes a stranglehold on this spot? I think Jovic gives you the highest ceiling of, I mean, really most of the roster at this point, because he's the one like is a big unknown. I would go with Jovic. I don't know if Spo's gonna do that though. If we were setting a line, who starts at the 4 coming out of the break? Jovic, Caleb, Highsmith, and whoever else, maybe even Love. Like, how would we set this?
Let me ask this first. Rozier is going to be out for sure. I would assume. We haven't heard anything otherwise.
Yeah,
Jimmy's going to be back under this. We're under the impression that Jimmy's going to be back.
Yeah.
So Bam, Jimmy, Tyler,
Duncan,
I would assume.
I wouldn't assume, but I would.
Yeah. That's why I don't think Jovic starts, by the way. If that's the move, if there's one to make.
Too many white guys?
It's a lack of athleticism.
premium crackers.
Sneaky. Just a little bit too sneaky athletic for
We made the same joke 3 different ways.
I will say this.
Kevin Love in there.
I will say this. I was at the last game in Philly before they went to break. Jovic, I don't mind the idea of him playing short stints, but I think when Jimmy is back, I don't think him and Jimmy fit together. They can be buddy-buddy, but I don't think they fit together. And Jimmy's certainly going to start.
I think Jovic, they can, though. I think they can.
They could. I agree with that, too.
But when they play together, you're going to see the same thing. Jovic wants the ball. And he wants to get the rhythm. And he wants to do his little things. And
Jovic, I know, like, and I give Ethan a hard time because he always references point Jovic. Like, there's a lot of times on the floor that Jovic is not playing point guard. Like, dead ball, they're not inbounding the ball to him. Can he get it off of a rebound? Can he get it off of an outlet pass and go? Absolutely. So can 10 out of the 15 players on the Heat. But when he goes, they play at a different pace. Whether he gets it, he's the one initiating, or he's running out and he's like the secondary person in transition, they play at a different pace. And Jimmy doesn't necessarily like that. But I agree to Timmy's point. He can play that way if he wants to. It's his choice. So I don't know if I would start him. And the problem, and I didn't get the context of the quote yesterday, which is my bad for just reading a Twitter headline, was Jovic saying, like, he's confused, he starts or he doesn't play at all. And I don't know. That's
basically what he, I don't know what the question was, but that's what he said. He said more so that he's accepted it. He's accepted his confused reality. Either he starts or doesn't play at all. So I think the question was basically like, how do you feel about this point in the season, your role?
Yeah,
it is confusing, but he's accepted.
I'm more trusting of his initiating, passing, pacing. I don't think I know that I have a comment up here. I don't think he really stretches the floor. He's inconsistent with that. Sometimes he is, sometimes he isn't. His defense, sometimes he's going to defend, sometimes he's not. I think you can find a role for him, but if he's not producing like he wasn't the last time he got shelved, sit him. Send him to Sioux Falls if you need to get him reps, but I'm not bending for Nikola Jovic. I'm sorry.
I think you see what you have in this situation. With the full-ish team back. I mean, especially with Rozier and Josh Richardson out. Like, I think Jovic is one of the only guys that could increase your ceiling if it works. You want to see what that looks like. I don't think it has to be in the starting lineup. I think it could come off the bench. But the other thing is, like, I'm, again, tired of seeing Bam starting next to dudes who are 6'5". Like, that's part of it, too. It's like Jovic will help in that department as well. The catching and shooting needs to be more consistent, but he can do that stuff. So
I tell you, somebody's got to run the ball in that second unit. Like, you want point Jovic? There's your opportunity. Josh took all those reps. Somebody's got to get him now.
He's more of a point forward to me than a point guard. But still, like at his best, when he gets to whatever level he's going to be, I've always said he's Hedo Turkoglu-ish, and I was saying that before the Heat even got him.
And one more thing with Heat, there's been 2 different comments have come in, a couple of comments coming about DeLon Wright. What do we think? What's his role? We can be quick with this because I know we're trying to be more NBA than Heat, but what do we think about DeLon Wright and that acquisition?
Is he the best point of attack defender we had at the point guard in like forever?
I mean, you explained Kyle Lowry's rim deterrence to me.
They had Avery Bradley for like 10 games.
Yeah, and don't talk about it. Didn't he run behind the scores table one time?
I really like
Keon Dooling in like 2007.
I like Avery Bradley. He was one of my favorite players at one point when he was at his peak Celtics career. But
somebody asked if does DeLon push anybody out of the starting lineup? If DeLon Wright is so good that he pushes somebody out of the starting lineup, it's probably going to be Terry. Just so you know. Just so you know,
it shouldn't be Terry. If DeLon, I don't think
Do
DeLon.
we think that DeLon has apologized to Tyler Hero yet for that Hawks series? Because he had that man in jail.
It was Mo Harkless, Tony. It was Mo Harkless. Yeah, I think DeLon's that's as good as you can do on the buyout market. I still think they need size, but in fairness, I mean, I don't know what bigs are out there that you want to get, unless you want to dust off Marcus Morris. Like, I don't know what you can do in terms of bigs at this point. I would still try to get somebody else with size, or just play Nikola Jovic. Like, this is the other thing about it, right? Like, if you're not going to get somebody with size, you have somebody with size there, put him in the rotation. I'm not even saying to start him, put him in a rotation. I think DeLon Wright should be in a rotation. And as Alex outlined on the 5 on the Floor episode, like, there's a guard on every team that he's going to have to stand in front of. Yep. All right. You're going to throw him on Jalen Brunson. You're going to throw him on Damian Lillard. You're going to throw him on,
Tyrese
Halliburton, Jaylen Brown, maybe?
Unless he's 6'5" with like a 6'8" wingspan. Yes.
Yeah. Like
he's sitting his left hand. Yeah, that's all.
Like, I don't think he needs to guard Drew Holiday. I think you put him on somebody better. No disrespect, especially Drew Holiday's playoff resume. Like, DeLon Wright's going to be. I think he's going to be another buyout market hit for them. I don't know how dramatic it'll be, but they needed the guard depth because I could speak because
I don't think Jay Rich plays anymore for the season. TBH. Even when healthy, I feel like DeLon is gonna just help fill that role.
Yeah,
I think Jay Rich gives you a different thing offensively.
He does.
I think you'll need what DeLon gives you more. To Timmy's point, I think that's what it comes down to.
I agree. What do you think? I mean, it's going to change, I think, series by series, game by game.
Yep.
Obviously, we have to get to the series first, but let's ask this question, and you guys can put it in the comments too. Come playoff time, how many minutes per game does DeLon Wright average?
14.
I was going to say 16. That's so good.
Yeah. I was actually going to say 15. So we in this game.
I was thinking 12.
Wow. It wouldn't trip me out. It, honest to God, would not trip me out. And we talked about Myers Leonard, but if he was one of these guys that started and just left the floor fast in 4 minutes.
I think the determining factor is not going to be about his point of attack. I think that's pretty well guaranteed. Can he make an open three?
Right.
Can you force a defense to guard him? Whether he can get to the rim, whether he can make a midi, can he make a three? If you have to guard him, he's going to get more minutes. He's going to be on the higher end of what we just said, 12 to 16. If not, situational plug like our guy Oladipo at sometimes.
Yeah,
if DeLon Wright is spacing along with the defense, he's going to play power forward.
He's got to play. He's got to play.
I'm just going to say I'm also 6'5". I've ran a 5K 9 days in a row, and I played basketball tonight. We're going to finish somewhere in the top 3 seeds of my men's league. I'm ready.
Are you the 4?
I'm ready. No, I don't. Get these fucking numbers out of here. What the fuck are we talking about? I play like point forward.
Positionless basketball, Brian.
I'm about to get point
Rochester. Point Rochester.
I had no options. I had to be a point guard because
Point Rochester sounds like a great town for upper middle class people in Maine.
It sounds like a retirement community in like the middle of Florida.
I saw snow. I saw snow.
They sound like the rival for One Tree Hill. The what was their name? Was it?
Man.
It's
definitely not going on the pod feed.
Life is
reality. just real quick reality. I think Sean is right, and what Josh gives them, they need maybe just a little bit more because nobody handles the fucking ball off the bench on this team. Just nobody I really trust to bring it up every time.
But
Hey, really
okay,
though, how are we going to fix the All-Star game? No, I'm sorry, I'm kidding.
I present to you a bench lineup of DeLon Wright, Nikola Jovic, Kevin Love, and you probably
Duncan's
a starter, Timmy. We've already established this. No,
No, I'm talking about when Terry's back. When Terry's back.
No, yeah, I think Duncan. Ultimately, you have to see, but like I think DeLon actually like that's a pretty solid. If you have DeLon, Jaime, Jovic, Kevin Love, and pick your guard, it's a pretty good second unit. And they're not even going to play like 10 deep in the playoffs.
So Highsmith's out essentially.
I mean, like,
listen, you better check your pride and personality or whatever you want to call that at the door because it's
someone's
going to
sit.
continually change. Yep.
Someone's going to sit. Look, Thomas Bryant sat very early on in the year, and he seems like an amazing locker room guy. He's probably going to be in the league for a few more years, unless he really wants to get playing time, just because the vibes. Like, just that dude is energy on energy on energy. And he has a ring also. So, you know, he didn't play more minutes than DeAndre Jordan, I don't think, in the finals last year. But he has a ring. I also think he's not as bad as Heat fans think. Okay, real quick, let's get to the Nets. And we can end with comments, just like real quick.
Who do they think Mikal Bridges is? He turns 20. He turns 28 next year. They're gonna build a team around him. Gonna use Simmons's expiring contract and some picks. Who do they think he is?
5 first-round picks was the report that they.
Yeah, I think it was Jalen Green and 4 first.
So if you've been living under a rock, Jacques Vaughn is fired. Kevin Ollie is going to be the new interim head coach of the Nets, and they again just don't. They're not interesting. They don't have a direction. They're least interesting than when I was covering them because at least at that point they found a way to make the playoffs and they had a young, exciting squad that fought. And they don't even have that right now. They just have a bunch of dudes who like are very divisive.
They're KFC. They have a bunch of six bunch of wings.
Cam Johnson's overpaid. Mikal Bridges has a contract. Cam Thomas, one of the most divisive players in the league. If you watch,
nice. What you mean?
If you watch Instagram highlights, you love him.
He's a hooper. He's a hooper.
Ben Simmons is still there. He's an expiring contract next year.
40 of those things.
Maybe you trade him for something. I have no idea. Zach LaVine. And I don't know. I don't know what you do if you're the Nets. That's really all I got. They're going nowhere. I don't know if they'll even make the play-in, and you shouldn't have fired Kenny Atkinson.
Facts. Big facts. And I don't think it was even Jack Vaughn's fault. He built this offense around Ben Simmons because they had nobody else who could get their own shot. Ben had an aggravation on his back like 3 times. And it's like, there's no... Spencer didn't really look like he was like openly like tanking his season to get traded.
Also looked like Stretch from NBA Street.
And now they got Dennis Schroeder, the 2 Cams, McHale and Claxton, who's not bomb, but thinks to get like big defensibility and money. It's just a hodgepodge of good role players trying to win games.
It's like a bathroom brawl, who comes out on top when it has to deal with firing coaches, the Atlanta Hawks, the Nets, or the Milwaukee Bucks. Who walks out of that room the victor? You can fire their coach the best.
Well, I think the Hawks win because I think Trey is gone this summer. Be it the Spurs or the Lakers.
So Trey Young gets every one of his coaches fired that he's ever had, and then he gets the fun.
Quinn Snyder has a big contract too, so
yeah, and weird glasses. If things go sideways in Miami and don't work out, the Nets are a team that were, and I would imagine still are, in their directionless state, interested in
the hero.
Tyler Hero.
And the Charlotte Hornets, who apparently can't get enough of those players.
What do you mean by that?
Let's just take questions. This is all we really got on the Nets. They're just not relevant, and it is what it is.
All right, hold on. Give me we have this question.
As somebody
Mikal
who was very,
Bridges,
very
Jimmy,
against,
and Bam. Oh, I'm sorry.
I forgot.
as somebody, I just want to say, as somebody who was very against the experiment with KD, Kyrie, and James Harden, don't mind how this has all turned out. Van Lee, is Mikal Bridges, Jimmy, and Bam enough to hoist Larry O'Brien? That's becoming toxic again.
If it's winning Tyler Hero, sure.
Yeah, presumably, I guess you're moving Hero or Rozier, and Van Lee, I don't think is moving Rozier in this equation. I'm telling you right now, Hero for Mikal Bridges straight up is not going to get it done.
It's not going to do it.
You're gonna have to lob the Nets some other things. But to answer the question, sure.
Drew Smith and Jamal Cain in a second.
Hey, now you're talking. Thomas
Orlando
Bryant.
Robinson.
No, the real All-Star star Alondes.
He'll end up getting traded.
Boy.
He'll end up getting traded for like
All right.
fucking Austin Reeves and some change.
One more thing, and then we're going to go to the story of the night that was breaking live as we went live. I got it queued up, Brian. Don't give me that look. It's coming. Big
What?
Heat Energy has a question, then we'll go to that. Does
I
Tyler
legit don't know
Hero,
what you're talking
Jovic,
about.
Jaime, and 2 picks put you in the Trae Young conversation? Is anyone on this panel trading Tyler, Jovic, Jaime, and 2, I'm assuming picks mean first, for Trae Young?
Hell no.
I would have just did it. We're not going to go in the feed anyway. Fuck no.
I'm not trading
All of that. All of that. No.
No. I don't even know if I do Tyler and 2 picks for Trae Young.
Nope.
Like, honestly, I'm not a Trae Young guy. I'm not even that much of a Tyler. Oh, speaking of, here we go.
What does
All
this
right.
mean?
So the question of the night. I didn't cue this up earlier. I saved it. What's up with here on Twitter with the shaking my head emoji?
Is he
Donovan
just
Mitchell?
rewatching? Is he just rewatching Caleb Martin's jumper over Giannis in the playoffs?
So
He
this
posted
is
this
what we
emoji.
need to do. I think we all need to go around the table. What do we think Tyler is? What is he face palming about?
Mm.
And
I
if
think
you have
he
a good comment, put it in the comments.
Tony, what are you eating?
A banana.
I think
That snot sounds like a drop. Honestly, at this point, it just sounds like a drop. Go ahead, Timmy.
Yeah, I think he's watching like Love Is Blind. I see people are tweeting about that. Maybe he's just watching Love Is Blind, and he is, showing his support for the Netflix show.
My guess, just my guess, he saw Jaime's GQ cover.
That's good.
That's what I think it is.
Hold on. I
Too
gotta
much-
look this up.
Too much sexiness in the locker room for one locker room. Spoelstra's got to get this under control.
The Ira article will be out tonight.
Yep. Cody Zeller wasn't out there posing on GQ covers during the All-Star break. He was getting reps in.
That man wore a mask to hide his face. That's 2 different things.
My guess
Oh.
is that Tyler Hero is tired of changing diapers.
Yeah, I guarantee you this is a father thing. I can almost put money on it. Just letting you know.
I know what people want us to say. Like, oh, he found out he's coming off the bench. Which, I mean, we'll find out tomorrow, but I doubt it. I just honestly doubt it. Especially because he was playing pretty well the last couple games, was he not? Or the last one, at least.
I mean, what if Spo hit him with the 17s right off of All-Star break? They got back to practice. They finally got to practice.
Oh,
And then he said, get to the sideline. Let's do 17s.
and then immediately after, he's running 101s with the lawn.
Yeah. The amount of mezcal that was like puked up off the freaking Heat practice floor.
Do we, in partial seriousness, do we actually think this is going to be a thing? This facepalm emoji? Like, do we think we're going to be talking about this in a day or so from now? Like, oh, Tyler actually came off the bench or whatever?
Today is Wednesday night. We don't play
What did
till
I say?
Friday.
Oh,
Friday.
oh,
There will be a Brady film breakdown tomorrow of face palms. Eternal will be on playback. I'm just gonna guess 2:45 tomorrow, talking about what this is about. I'm telling you, Eternal will be on top of this. There will be content tomorrow about the Tyler Hero. Just wait. We will have it covered here.
Tune in to No Agendas on Twitter.
I
Really,
don't know.
Any seriousness? What do we think it really is? He has to explain now. He's going to have to explain that. That's how sad this is.
That's the world we live in. They're gonna ask him what the hell I was about. He's gonna be. I think he'll even forget about it when they ask him on Friday morning during shoot around.
Gonna check his IG story just to see, and there's nothing there.
Maybe Mean Jimmy's back. Jimmy came back to practice.
Well, here's the thing: if they're back from All-Star break, which they are, they play Friday. They probably practice today. Did they not?
Tomorrow, maybe?
Tomorrow. Technically, All-Star breaks ends tomorrow. Today's the last day. They get back home today.
But they have to travel to New Orleans, so maybe you practice tomorrow. If you didn't practice today, you practice and then get right on the plane, go to New Orleans.
You go straight. Yep, you go straight on the plane. Maybe he had a bad steak fajita. I don't know, bro. I've never tweeted out a facepalm emoji by itself.
If I was on vacation and I had to come back to the real world, I'd probably put a facepalm emoji out there.
Oh, you know what? That might be all it is. That might
That's
be all
true.
it is. You know, he was on vacation. Yeah. He was in Cabo or Aruba or, you know, one of them exotic ass places. And he just, there you go. Flying elbow kick.
Ugh.
Flying elbow kick gets the show. Is that Errol Spence? Errol Spence happy.
Another kid on the way. It's crazy.
Oh my God. That would be 3, right?
Oh God, please, no! No! No!
Yes, ma'am. You're an idiot.
Do we have anything else? Or are we punch drunk right now?
Oh my God. I can't I gotta be cautious about what I put up here.
What comments? What other comment? All right.
I had to skip one. Big Heat Energy. I appreciate you coming.
McDonald's ran out of the Shamrock shakes, got him bugging.
Them fucking grimace shakes.
I haven't had
We went to go get a McFlurry and the machine was broken.
I legit haven't had McDonald's in years. How is it? Because I've seen the commercials almost got me back, bro.
They said the burgers.
He's got a Jimmy John's. He's got a Jimmy John's about 2 blocks from me. Amazing.
Really?
Love
Freaky
Jimmy John's.
fast.
I go to Taco Bell when they come back with the nacho fries periodically, and I just get nacho fries.
Did you know the Choco Taco was invented in Philadelphia?
No, I did not
I learned
know
that today.
I'm not a Choco Taco guy. Do we have any other comments before we get
Home of Choco Taco?
This is actually we actually got an interesting one. Big Heat Energy says ceiling and floor player comps for Jokic.
I was very terrified.
I
was terrified, Brian.
This is not quite. This is for like the real hardcore. This is not the time Alana almost had a boo-boo. Me and Timmy thought on a stream a long time ago. Flying Elbow Kick said he saw Stephen A. Smith's boxing video and realized he's got competition. Stephen A. Smith has a boxing video? Direct that to me immediately. I need to see. I just put one up, actually. And I'll tell you what, like, my form is better than Tyler's. Different weight class though. Tyler would technically be, what is he? Is he 190? If he's 190, he's a cruiserweight. All right. Big Heat Energy's other
when he's hitting shots, he looks 300 pounds, bro.
Ceiling and floor. Send me the Stephen A. Smith boxing video on Twitter. Big Heat Energy says ceiling and floor player comps for Jovic. Ceiling, I said Hedo Turkoglu, so I'm gonna stick with that. Some other people would say more outlandish shit. I'm just gonna go with Hedo Turkoglu, who was a really good player at one point. Oh my God, that uppercut!
I love that we just have that.
Come on, like how you throwing an uppercut from like your balls, bro? Like, I know what Sean's gonna do now. I know exactly what Sean's gonna go find now.
I'm like a D like that, man. I wanted to.
Stephen A. Smith video.
All right, we're gonna close on this one once I get that up there. Well,
Play Stephen A. Smith. Then play mine. Play mine also.
My man has the link. Shout out flying elbow kick.
Although mine might get flagged because you have Rihanna. We found love in a hopeless place in the background in the gym. So you're gonna have to mute mine if you do play it. Stephen A. Smith's. I need to see this. How many people are watching this, by the way? Thank you for sticking with us. I don't know how many people are here.
Imagine all the 5 Reason content that was made today. And then somebody listening to Ethan and getting done and being like, damn, can't wait for this show.
Listen, every show that I have a hand in the direction of it ends up this way in terms of being like just completely fun. So that's what I take pride in, and doesn't take everything too seriously. Do we have the Stephen A. boxing video? I think I've seen this now. The flying elbow kick actually like mentions this. I think I've seen this, but I'm not sure.
DM it to me because I can't click on that link. But
it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
This is the one I can find. I don't know if this is
no.
No. Flying elbow kick. Is this the right one?
Is this?
This is like we're doing highly questionable segments now.
Why is he practicing like he's Draymond Green? What? What's?
See, I know how to throw an uppercut.
Pause.
That's that was tough. Come on, what was that? Like where have you seen? Oh, come on, man.
I thought it was a self-defense video because he goes for a groin punch first. I've never quite seen that move in boxing before.
Yeah, I mean, oh, here we go.
Yeah,
here we go. Unedited too. With head movement because I care about defense.
Get both of them hands down on them combinations, boy.
Yeah, I mean, well, you know, when you're doing, see, look at the head movement. I'm not even showing you all the. I'm not even showing you all the footwork here, though.
Shadow box,
which I have.
I can't wait till I get bored at work tomorrow because I have a great idea. You guys got to check my Twitter tomorrow.
Oh no,
S Rochester NBA.
Oh, no.
I have it ready. Oh, I'm glad they filmed it from this angle, this side. Oh, it's gonna be great. Gonna be great.
I got
most efficient man of the game.
Oh, Big Heat Energy's trying to get me killed, bro. I am not the tank. You kidding me?
I'm about to put this on my Instagram and say that boy nice.
I put another one today where I was just like, you know, this is after 10 rounds, by the way, after class. Because I go to classes periodically. All right, enough of that. I think we're good. We'll be back next week. We'll be back next week. Tyler Hero's jump shot form is probably better than mine because I haven't shot a ball in a while. But I could show him a thing or two in boxing at least. So we'll do that. All right.
Oh yeah.
Let's get out of here.
Look at we lost Sean.
Yeah.